Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette.
With that killer intro, Zane Wilson, and like always, I'm Stephen Mommy, and welcome to Flim Flam Films.
Hello.
How you doing tonight, Zane?
I'm doing pretty fine so far, Steven. I'm probably going to get better throughout the night. So.
Awesome. That's always the way to be, buddy.
What about you?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no complaints so far.
All right. So, this week on the show, we'll be discussing Thank You for Smoking, which was released in 2005, and it was directed and written by Jason Reitman and produced by David O. Sachs, and starring Aaron Eckhart, Cameron Bright, William H. Macy, Robert Duvall, J.K. Simmons, and Sam Elliott, among others.
Did you say Rob Lowe?
And Rob Lowe.
Thanks.
Rob Lowe is also in there.
Yeah, the main guy is also, I don't know if you guys know actors by their names, but anybody, the main guy plays Toothface with Christian Bale's version. Well, Christopher Nolan's version, I guess.
Yeah, in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, The Dark Knight.
Yeah, but he's been in a lot of other good movies too.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Zane, what do you think the film did well and didn't do well?
Well, first, I'll hit you with a quick summary.
Oh, that's right.
So-
Oh, man. I'm slacking today.
So in the film, Aaron Eckhart plays Nick Naylor, who is a lobbyist for Big Tobacco. And
Safety.
And the main struggle, I guess, in the movie is that he's trying to balance his work life with also trying to be a role model for his son. And it's very interesting dichotomy. In the
Good
movie.
word.
Yeah, big words. I know big words.
Big words for a big brain Zane.
Yeah.
That's what they call him.
But I just first I want to say I think it's funny that I didn't even realize that a lot of the movies that I picked for us to talk about are in my top 5 favorite movies, because this is also, I would say, in my top 5 favorite movies. So we've
I
covered
have
4 of
noticed.
them. We've covered 4 of them so far, along with Repo Man, Kung Pao, and Clerks 2.
Well,
so.
Zane, just for the audience sake, what is your 5th favorite? What is that? What's the one that...
If I had to pick one, it would either be Galaxy Quest
Stay tuned.
or maybe or Dark City, which is a great film.
Dark City. Yeah, we'll probably go over both of them, I'm sure, at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but back to this movie. So, I really enjoyed this movie.
Oh, you finished the summary? Man, that was the quickest summary I've ever heard.
I mean, that's all you need.
You're right.
But I think my parents introduced me to this movie a few years ago.
I think you're wrong,
and,
Zane.
Well, if you can look into my memories, you might be right. I don't know. But I instantly fell in love with this movie the first time I saw it. I think it's funny, but not laugh out loud funny. Just kind of chuckling, but it's constant throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, there's some good little hidden jokes and one-liners.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there are a lot of characters in the movie, played by very, very great actors.
Oh yeah.
And not all of them have very large roles in it, but they're still memorable in my opinion.
I would agree. I like what the film does. A lot of, for the most part, my favorite little thing that the movie did is when, right as they were traveling, how they switched the camera view from.
Who's traveling? Who's there?
What's the main guy's name?
Nick Naylor.
Yeah, Nick. When Nick and his son are traveling to California, and the camera, well, I wouldn't say the focus, but maybe. Yeah, the way they shot it literally went from HD to if they were holding a regular trashy camcorder, and I thought that was very interesting, and I felt like they did that really well.
This movie also interests me because it at various points throughout Aaron Eckhart's character, Nick Naylor, which I love his name. I think that's a really cool
Nick
catchy-
Naylor.
Nick Naylor. But he goes down and breaks down what he thinks you should do if you're in an argument with someone and how to win that argument.
Oh yeah, and they're great.
And it's very very, I guess for me, eye-opening because I'm terrible at arguments.
He is.
And I am.
Speaking on that whole thing, when on the flip side, when I was watching it, I just kept saying, "Oh yeah, I do that. Huh, that makes sense."
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
one.
wow, Zane. Yeah, he's terrible at all this. That makes sense.
I figured, or I thought that was be one reason why you'd enjoy this movie because you like arguing with people and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
but it's
and
so good
debating.
because he just does everything the same way, and
Yeah.
he's just I don't have to prove that
And he's so
I'm
good
right.
at it.
That just you're wrong.
Exactly.
And that's the most important thing in an argument.
And also, I'd say this movie, it has a lot of like heart, I guess, because the father son relationship through the movie develops bit by bit. Because at first it's like Nick Naylor, he feels a bit estranged from his son because he divorced his wife, and now she's with another man. And so he's trying to, like connect with his son and stuff, and that's why he's taking him on all these business trips and stuff. And it's very nice to see their relationship throughout the movie.
That's a great scene when her boyfriend, Nick's ex-wife's boyfriend, walks out and he goes, "Hey Nick, can I talk to you for a second?" He's like, "I just want you to be providing a smoke-free environment for your son." And Nick just looks at him and goes, "Listen, I'm his father, and you're just some guy screwing his mom."
You're just a guy having sex with his mom, okay?
Okay, man. And he just leaves.
Oh, that's great. There, one character that I would like to give a special mention to is J.K. Simmons' character. Do you know?
Great character.
Oh yeah, BD.
BD.
BD is.
Is it BD or is it BR?
It's
BR, I think.
I thought it was BD. Anyway.
It's B something. BD or BR.
J.K. Simmons' character is Nick Naylor's boss, and he is super intense. And wants to get the job done, and doesn't really care about anybody except for the job, and it's really good. It's actually kind of interesting because it's almost like a prelude to. Have you seen Whiplash? Well, in that he plays a very, very hardcore music instructor, and you can kind of see a little bit of similarities between his performance in this movie and then later on in Whiplash, which is kind of interesting.
Nice. Another thing that I think the film did really well is the little hidden things it did. So there's one scene where they're in California, Nick and his son, and they're talking about. He goes, "Dad, how do you do a good argument?" And he goes over a little bit, and he's like, "So for instance, if you like chocolate ice cream, right? And I say vanilla is the best. I don't have to really prove to you that vanilla is the best. I just got to prove that chocolate isn't the best." And then he was like, "I understand, but you still haven't convinced me." And then later it shows them on a Ferris wheel, and they both have vanilla ice cream. And I thought that was not super hidden, but really quick, because the shot of them eating ice cream is only about 3 seconds, not long at all, and I really enjoyed that from the film aspect.
Oh yeah, and I'd also like to add that the beginning of that whole conversation is Nick's son asking him, like, so did you get a degree, or did you learn how to like argue and do the stuff that you do? And he said, "No, I just kind of do it." And then he says, "Well, can't anybody do this?" And then he goes, and then his dad shows him why it actually takes some some thinking and some quick wit to be able to do it.
Yeah. No, it's great. I really just like how his kid is. Another scene is when the kid goes and convinces his mom to go to California. He does it in a very argumentative way. And then when he gets into the car, when Nick is picking him up, he's like, "How'd you convince her?" He goes, "I argued, not negotiated." And I love that.
Oh yeah, and in a way it's almost like manipulation.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. The way he did it was definitely in a manipulation style. Because he was like, "I mean, you could do this, but really, I understand if you don't, because that would be silly."
Yep. What would you say is your favorite scene from the movie?
My favorite scene? Ooh, there's a lot of scenes that I did enjoy throughout the film. Like, I loved the Death Trio. Whenever...
Oh, the Merchants of Death?
Yeah, the Merchants of Death. Like, when he's eating the slice of pie with cheese. Nick? No, the gun guy.
Yeah, that is Dave... I can't pronounce his last name.
Okay, so Dave. Anyway, yeah, he's eating pie with a slice of melted cheddar. Well, I don't know. I don't eat cheese. Cheese on top of the pie.
Big lactose intolerant guy here.
Yeah, big lactose intolerant guy. And he's like, "Bro, you're gonna die of a heart attack." And he was like, "No, this is American."
It's American cheese.
But I really enjoy whenever all three of them are together. But probably my favorite scene is after this paper comes out on Nick, and he's talking to, he goes and talks to his buddies at the restaurant they're always at, and then he leaves and he goes, now what you guys are reading is someone that took advantage of, I had an affair, but I will not say her name because I do not want to defame her, but some beautiful brunette reporter. I really love that because that's hilarious. It's kind of like being petty, but at the same time, just like a funny petty thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably my favorite scene.
I think for me, this might be one of the few movies where the ending is actually my favorite part of it. Because at the end, after the reporter puts out all this stuff that Nick Naylor has been saying, you know, about his profession and what they do and all that kind of stuff, and everyone's against him, he goes and testifies before a board of...
they're trying to see if they can put a poison, like skull and crossbones on cigarette.
Yeah, Jolly Roger. And he's making a case against it and whatever, and at the end, one of the William H. Macy's in the movie. He plays the governor of Vermont, senator of Vermont, and Vermont is known for its cheese. And he's talking to Nick Naylor, and he's like, "Well, would you, when your son turns 18, would you buy him cigarettes? Huh? If they're so great?" And then I won't spoil it, but it's very good ending.
Yeah, another thing that the film I really liked is that the film just uses logic the whole way through, and I really appreciate that.
Very logical film.
It's not like a scary movie and like 8 of your friends have died and you're like, you know what? I think I can stay in the house, you know? It's more like, hey, one friend already died. The rest of us should leave, you know? It's very logical. But another scene that I really liked was the very first scene. This actually is probably my favorite scene. I take it back. I really did like the other scene, but this one is definitely my favorite. And it's the very opening.
When he's on the talk show?
Yes, at the very beginning of this scene. So on the talk show, there's a panel of a few people, like the senators. What is it? Right-hand man or standee for him, and another one his name is simply Cancer Boy. First off,
he's never given a name.
Yeah, first off, the name Cancer Boy is
I think hilarious. He does have a name, but I don't remember what it is.
Okay, well, his lower third title it just says Cancer Boy, and me thinking about this also reminded me of just another great thing that the movie did that I'll say, but Nick just goes on to say, okay, it's dumb for us smoking companies to want him to have cancer and die because he's one valid customer. That's stupid. And then everybody just stops and they're all confused. And then the kid shakes his hand. He's like, thanks, man.
And if you think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's very logical. But another thing that the movie I liked, it was just one scene and they only did it for one phrase, is you know how sometimes when somebody says a phrase or whatnot and people don't understand it, so kind of put up like a caption under the screen where the main screen is, right?
Okay.
So in one of the scenes it was saying environmental lobbyist, and right below it it appeared in parentheses it just says pussy. And I thought that was hilarious. And that was also really close to the beginning of the film. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the film.
Yeah, I would recommend this to everybody, as with most of the films we've talked about.
Oh yeah, I would also recommend it. Unless if you just don't like logic, and then watch your trash scary movies.
Or if you don't like Lobbyist. But I have a feeling that even if you hate Lobbyist,
you'll like Nick.
After you come out of this movie, you'll like Nick.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. So Zane, how would you relate this movie?
To me, when I think of this movie, I think of raw oysters. Why raw oysters, you say? Well,
yeah, Zane, why
raw oysters are my favorite food. And if you think that if it's my favorite food and I'm relating to this movie, this would be my favorite movie, but no. Because as I said previously, Kung Pao is above that. He's above food ratings. It is above food ratings. It is that great. But anyway, it makes it to me it's like raw oysters because besides the fact that I love raw oysters and I love this movie, I can't have raw oysters all the time. You can't just go out and get like a burger. It's not like a burger, you know. It's more of a not a delicacy, but you don't. It's not very frequent, you know. Like
You gotta be in the mood.
Well, not even that you have to be in the mood for it. Just that like you know,
The season?
not every restaurant has them, especially when we're in like rural Alabama.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you know,
not-
it's kind of hard to find good fresh oysters, and so that relates to the movie because there's a lot of the wordplay in this one, and like how you argue and stuff like that. And earlier, I said I'm not good at arguing, and I really wish I was. I could did that. I wish that I could debate, and I had a quick wit, and I was able to do those kinds of things. And maybe I could if I stuck with it.
Yeah, I
but
wish you could
right
do it
now,
too.
Right now, I'm just naturally terrible at it. But that's what it makes me think of like raw oysters. Like they're great, but I can't always have them.
See, mine's actually a flip on that. To me, this movie is like toast. Why like toast, you might
You
ask?
say toast?
Toast, yes. Toast. Because for me, the way I'm relating this movie is
Mhm.
my main point of why I like the movie is all the logic in it. Toast
Okay.
is just,
Are you saying toast is a logical food?
it is.
What does that
Let
mean?
me let me tell you, because you can do so much with toast.
You can do so much with any food technically.
Yeah,
though.
but toast.
You can do so much with raw oysters.
Toast specifically, and it's year round, and you should use logic every single day. Bread is good for you all the time, and I like toast. You can put so much stuff on the logical toast sandwich. You can use some butter, some peanut butter, some jelly. You can
Shrimp,
do-
fried shrimp, baked shrimp, boiled shrimp.
You could put raw oysters on it. To me, with this movie being so just logical heavy, it's just toast.
Steven, I gotta say
It's
that's
plain for me. Like I understand, like you know, not being good at arguments, so it's not regular for you. So it's like raw oysters, you know, got to be in the season, the mood. But for me, that argues a lot.
No, I know,
It's
it's not that I
it's
have to be
like
in the mood
toast to
for
me.
it.
It's just I can have it any day, and I'll be okay with it.
Well, just to clarify, I never said that I had to be in the mood for raw oysters of this movie. It's just that I
You
can't
can't
always
get it.
have. You're not always available to have raw oysters. And also, I gotta say that was a terrible relation.
Terrible.
Your food
Oh,
thing
man.
this week, awful.
You
Next
just
week,
don't
make
like-
it better.
Do you just not like toast?
No, it's just I feel like yours is weak.
Man, not.
But it's okay. I still love you, man.
Why? Why though? Why? Give me a good reason.
Okay, well let me tell you why.
I'm wanting to know.
I'm the adult. You're wrong. End of discussion.
Yeah. So see, that right there is the most non-logical explanation